Dear ones, I am Archangel Michael. Starting a new week. I will not comment here again on the lightning walk. Those who did it during the 7 days and haven't finished yet, continue from today, skipping only Saturday and Sunday. If you haven't started, start today. Those who started halfway, continue today. That's all I'm going to say. Continuing the comment on each of the rays, today it is the turn of the green ray, the ray of healing. This is a very important subject and one that many of you do not give due value to, or do not have the understanding that you should have. Firstly, the physical body, if you, was not created by Father or Mother God to get sick. There is no such divine punishment as many think. So that you understand, a little, why you get sick, I will have to tell you a little story. Once upon a time there was a child who was very naughty. She wasn't afraid of anything and she wasn't guided to see the danger in everything. Understand, I'm not here saying that you have to put the child in a glass jar, but you have to make the child see that whatever he does has consequences. So it's not just letting the child climb a very tall tree, finding it very interesting, without guiding them. Be careful on the way up, because if you slip and fall, you could die. Then show the child that he can fall from there, that he does not have the autonomy to think he is a monkey. That she can climb the tree as high as she wants and if she falls, nothing will happen to her. It's a matter of showing, it's a matter of talking, not prohibiting. It's not simply saying to a child, don't go up there, because you'll fall. This doesn't mean anything to her, because she will simply think, I'm going to climb and I'm not going to fall. Because she doesn't understand the degree of the problem she will be facing. So it's showing that it can happen, yes, as long as she's not careful. And she has to understand that she is not an animal to climb that high, she has to climb as far as it is safe. So everything is a big talk, everything is guidance, not prohibition, not lies. You usually educate your children with lies, oh, if you do this this will happen, and that is not real. And one day the child finds out. And then she will do it, because she knows that it is a lie. But I'm not here to talk about children today. I am here speaking of an extremely elevated child, and no limits were placed on the games she played. Very good. I will be extremely dramatic. So that child, I will continue the example I gave, was not told that he is not an animal, that he can climb a tree, like he sees monkeys do. And if she falls, lands on her feet like they do, because they have the nature for it. So it was a child, who climbed an extremely tall tree, without the slightest care, without the slightest guidance and fell from the top. I'll repeat, the story is dramatic, but it's for you to understand. Well, that child fell and the fall was not pretty. The child simply no longer feels his legs. That's right, she was paralyzed. That child will have a hard time understanding what he did wrong. Monkeys do that all the time, why couldn't she do it? But she was not instructed to do so, she was simply told, don't go up. But why can't I go up? It was not explained exactly why, what could happen. And it happened. Then she will be an angry child, because she will never understand why that happened to her, and she will revolt against the divine, because he punished her, because she did not obey her parents' orders which was not to climb that tree. And parents with their limiting beliefs will say the same thing, you were punished because you didn't obey us. So that child, carry that feeling, carry that guilt throughout your life. She is angry with life, she is angry with herself, for having done such nonsense. And when she grows up, she realizes that she could have been guided better, but that she wasn't. It was just banned, and prohibit, everything that is prohibited, you like to try, so that you can have your own opinion. It's not like this? No, don't tell me it isn't, because it is. Everything that is forbidden is what you are most attracted to, because you like to break the rules. This is part of being human, you don't like rules. I often take away what I say here, and you continue to insist on something I didn't say, because you want to assert what you want, not what is said. So breaking the rules for you is something very normal and easy. But continuing. So that child, becoming an angry adult, fails to realize that he could have many other chances, he could activate other knowledge, even though I can't walk properly. Very good. This feeling is a feeling that hurt this child, who became an adult, his entire life. It's a feeling of hurt, sadness, anger, everything you can imagine. So this feeling is like a scar on the soul, it's like a mark, it's as if someone had made a mark on that child's soul. That soul feels all that feeling, which that adult is already emanating, until the end of his life. It took him a lifetime, carving that scar into his soul. It wasn't a small scar, it was a deep scar that will remain marked in the soul. Well, that adult disembodies and comes in a new guise. Depending on the depth of that scar. Because it could be a pain, a scar so deep, that the soul takes it on, the soul becomes paraplegic. She understands that she can no longer walk, because it is so deep that she forgot that she is a soul. So, often in these cases, the baby is born with problems and will not be able to walk, and if she walks, she will have a lot of difficulty. In some other cases, the mark is not as deep, the soul understands that that was the result of that outfit she lived in, but the scar is there, that feeling is there. And a normal, healthy baby is born, without any problems. But this baby, due to the feelings that his soul once experienced, also becomes rebellious. It is a baby that grows up and is an angry child, a child that does not obey anyone, a difficult child to deal with, because it is a revolt that it comes from inside her, which she cannot control, and she becomes an angry adult. So these feelings, which that new outfit carries, destabilize each of the chakras, the heart chakra for the feeling of revolt, the solar plexus chakra for the energy that is placed in those feelings, the chakras and glands of the head because that is the thought, at all times, of revolt. He is a person angry with everything and everyone, without anyone understanding why. Since he was a child, with a good financial situation, always healthy. Why so much outrage? And if those parents can't understand this, because this was never much, it was never much, it was never disclosed among you, just recently, if the parents don't deal with those feelings, think it's all very normal, or are unable to deal with it, that adult will become extremely angry and unbalanced. And the degree of imbalance will be so much that this imbalance will merge with your soul. It is as if the soul began to dominate human consciousness, such is the imbalance. And then the revolt is already so great, the path that human being chooses to take, it is a dangerous path, it is an extremely arrogant path, in which the soul lets all the feelings it feels come out. And then this human being will experience horrible pain, in the place where that child, from past incarnations, suffered a fall and broke his back, a lot of pain. Many times, it can reach the extreme of having cancer in that location, because the feelings of the human being, of the human consciousness, were associated with the feelings that the soul already had. Then the soul feels proud, for feeling all that again. Nothing was taught to her to evolve. She was not given the chance to see it in another way, she continues to be angry. Then she brings it all back again. And that being feels a lot of pain in the same place again, or has a serious illness in that place. So this story I told is so that you understand that a lot of what you experience comes from your soul, it comes from things you have already experienced. Now, it is important to always emphasize that, everything can be avoided, as long as you realize that you need to treat yourself. So what is the great wisdom in the journey of a human conscience? If she has a psychological problem, treat it. There are many forms of treatments, either through medication, or holistic treatments, whatever you want. As long as you balance that feeling, may that soul realize that that was a fatality, don't blame the world for what happened to her, may the soul understand that it was an accident and that no one is to blame. Neither are the parents, who did not explain properly, they are not to blame, because that child also disobeyed, he did what he should not have done. So we can say that we are going to put everyone in the balance, everyone with guilt. So, what's up with that soul? If you forgive and see that there is no point in living that feeling, which will only increase, not decrease. So, the diseases that you have internally, bone pain, cancer especially, diabetes, often do not come from genetics. There was no one, the first diabetic in the history of humanity, who passed this gene on to everyone else. One day someone lost their balance and got diabetes, and then it started to pass, but many develop it throughout their lives. Why does a child already develop diabetes? Because that is in her soul, that imbalance came from the soul. If no previous relative has the disease, it came from the soul. It is such a huge imbalance in that soul that it has passed into physical clothing. So it is for these and other reasons that you become sick, because you have become unbalanced.